to greet you a very Merry Christmas to everyone. And in Hawaiian, Mele Kalikimaka, Haoli Makahikiho. Ho ho ho. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10, it's glistening once again, with candy cane and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. A pair of popolong boots and a pistol that shoot is the wish of party and Ben. Dawson will talk and we'll go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. There's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. The starry kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bell will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing. Right will read your heart. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. So it's Christmas once more. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Positibo o negatibo, di ka pwedeng tumanggi dahil hindi ka pwedeng magpakita ng takot sa kanila. Dapat sa kami niligtas sila. Hindi namin hinihingin kami pasalamatan. Kung nalayuan, okay lang, huwag lang pandirian. Ang giling lang sa inyo, manatili sa inyong tahanan. Yun na ang pinakamadwan ng bag nyo sa likuran. Kayo'y mga tunay na bayani ng bakit tuturing. Dahil kahit na nasa kritikal na kalagayan ang sitwasyon natin kayo parang malunasan. Ang pusong sarili para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Kapaning ginagawang talikuran. Kaya saludo, saludo. Salamat sa alam nyo. Nasulat namin bagong pyesang irarap sa mga frontliners na unang humaharap dito sa pinagdaanan natin isis na nagaganap. Para COVID-19 virus ay hindi na lumaganap. Mga bantay sa kalye at mga lagag ng ospital, mga staff ng butik at grocery, siniguradong stocks magtatagal. Pinayagang bangko, delivery at iba pang trabahong essential. Kawalan ng kuryente, tubig at telecoms para mga servisyo hindi tumumal. Kami sa hindi saludo, makabagong superhero. Nagtrabaho kay delikado para mga infected may masiro. Doktor, nurse, police, sundalo, volunteer hanggang sa baryo. Dahil nandiyan kayo, chance natin manalo magiging bayo. Kailangan na sa mga residente, di umayaw at tagin natin. Para kumalabavirus na pest and bleed na sa inyo ang presidente. Salamat mga frontliners, itong aking mensahe. Endurang rapero, nakalanan mula sa Reposting. May pusong iaalay ang buhay ko sa aking bayan. Sa gitna ng krisis ay handa akong makipaglaban. Wala mang kasiguraduhan kayang protektahan. Ang tanging bitbit ko'y armas, handa akong makipaglaban. Maihatid lang pangunahin pangangailangan nyo. Kapalit ng pamilya kung di mabisita sa malayo. Magdamag mulat mata, hindi ka pwedeng maikli. Baka makalusot mga pasaway, hindi ko masali. Tapos pag iyon na takot, sasabihin na hindi tama. Sinangkala mo na buhay mo, ikaw pang masama. Higano ba kalayo, gano ka delikado. Mapuntahan ka lang ang buhay ko ay itataya ko. Kaya lang ng armas ay tatapusin na ito. Ubusin ko ang bala ng baril na bitbit ko. Kaya pakiusap ko sa ngalan ng aking upo. Sumunod ka sa batas, gusto ko pang uwian ng pamilya ko. Kailangan mga tunay na bayani na matuturing. Dahil kahit na nasa kritikal na kalagayan ang sitwasyon nandiyan kayo para malunasan. Ang katulis ng sarili para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Kapaning ginagawang talikuran. Kaya saludo, saludo. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Felina, you can patch me in any time na. This is Larry. We'll activate it at 10 o'clock, but our Facebook is streaming right now. Thank you.
May kayong kakabsat ko, yung ganiyo daytoy kantak, buan niya ti gusto, igurot nga taraki, irugi ti bagbaro, araki nung makitayo, nagwapo.
Aloha everyone, magandang buhay po sa inyong lahat. Kablawan na kayo amin itinaimbag nga oras yo gagayem ken kakabsat. I'm Larry Ordonez, and very shortly we will be live on air at 3 radio stations. Welcome to a 2-hour radiothon program and learn the latest information on COVID-19. Today's radiothon is on simulcast broadcasts at 3 radio stations in Hawaii. We'd like to welcome listeners of KNDI 1270 AM, KPRP 650 AM, KPHI 96.7 FM, and 1130 AM, as well as OC 882 for KPHI. Thank you for carrying our broadcasts. And also we'd like to welcome our viewers on Facebook. We'd like to ask today's broadcast partners to please make your audio adjustments. We'll be live on air and online in 12 minutes. I'm Larry Ordonez, and we'll be joined by Ms. Clemen Montero in today's broadcasts of the latest information on COVID-19.
This broadcast is being brought to you by the Filipino Community Center, the Legal Clinic, the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and Ethnic Education Hawaii. We will be right back. Once again, we'd like to welcome you all to a 2-hour radiothon program and learn the latest information on COVID-19. Today's radiothon is simulcast and broadcasted at 3 radio stations in Hawaii. We'd like to welcome listeners of KNDI 1270 AM, KPRP 650 AM, KPHI 96.7 FM, and 11:30 a.m. and Oceanic Cable 882. And also we'd like to welcome our viewers on Facebook. We'd like to ask today's broadcast partners to please make your audio adjustments. We'll be live on air and online in 8 minutes. I'm Larry Ordonez and we'll be joined by Miss Clemen Montero in today's broadcast of the latest information on COVID-19. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Filipino Community Center, the Legal Clinic, the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and Ethnic Education Hawaii. We will be right back.
Angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Otherwise it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Let's go. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied.
Dave, let's go ahead and put up our graphic.
Starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a groovy day. You just say the words and you beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me, we'll fly, we'll fly. Pack up, let's fly away.
Tilt a little bit more. And the distance is good. Maybe tilt the camera down so your head's a little out. Other way.
Other way.
Yeah, there you go. And then back up a little. Yeah, that's perfect.
Now I gotta go get my iPad. Look at my
Sikati amin ko.
Hi, Kuya Larry.
Liw-liwat to'y puso. Raksak din sa bay mo. Adinto ang mudo. Inggan at tupalbiyan. Dayto'y
My power assistant didn't come in this morning, so my good morning. Shiny. Oh, you warned us that
The shot patrol. Do
we need to park with everyone? I'm
agraman to'y kararwa. Sikati amin ko. Liw-liwat to'y puso. Raksak tinsang bay mo. Adinto ang mudo. Inggan at tumpalbiyan. Dayto'y ngalan-ayan. Intang arod ipapas. Diro ni ayan.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you all to a 2-hour radiothon program and learn the latest information on COVID-19. Today's radiothon is on simulcast broadcasts at 3 radio stations in Hawaii. We'd like to welcome listeners of KNDI 1270 AM, KPRP 650 AM, KPHI 96.7 FM, and 1130 AM, as well as Oceanic Cable 882. And also, we'd like to welcome our viewers on Facebook. We'd like to ask today's broadcast partners to please make your audio adjustments. We'll be live on air and online in 3 minutes. I'm Larry Ordonez and we'll be joined by Ms. Clemen Montero in today's broadcast of the latest information on COVID-19. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Filipino Community Center, the Legal Clinic, the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and Ethnic Education Hawaii. We will be right back in 2 minutes.
Ni ayan. Intang arod ipapas. Diro ni ayan.
Nabayagin biyag ko, hadi kang nagkita. Aldaw ken rabi apas pasunga din ka. Jagun mas baalan Buiu kuken ka sumangpet kakadi Paggek ang sanyata Pimanaw kalanta Hadi kang nagpakada Napanang alugar di kapay ibaga Nu aniyat ginurang nga inaramid ko Adi mo kinayang Kendi ka ginusto Nu siyaktot pumusa Ket siyaktay sumina Dawat he kubiya
Aloha Hawaii and aloha to all of our radio listeners and global viewers. Magandang buhay po sa inyong lahat. Naimbag nga oras yu amin na sangapada. Welcome to a 2-hour radiothon program and learn the latest information on COVID-19. Today's radiothon is on simulcast broadcasts at 3 radio stations in Hawaii. We'd like to welcome listeners of KNDI 1270 AM, KPRP 650 AM, KPHI 96.7 FM, and 1130 AM. We'd also like to welcome our viewers on Facebook. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Filipino Community Center, the Legal Clinic, the University of Hawaii at Manoa, also joining and Ethnic Education Hawaii. Also joining us throughout our program today are virtual entertainers from around the world. We have Joel Tolentino of Oahu, Hawaii, Leilani Joy Kulit Rogers of Australia, originally from Badok, Ilocos Norte, Anna Davide of Honolulu, Hawaii, and Aina Applefres Fonashier of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. My name is Larry Ordonez, President of Ethnic Education Hawaii, also a radio announcer on KNDI in Honolulu, and one of your co-hosts in today's broadcasts. Joining me right now is the Communications and Media Specialist of the Filcom TLC CARES Project and an Educational Specialist and Lecturer at the Center for Philippine Studies at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And our co-host in today's program, please welcome Ms. Clemen Montero. Hello, Clemen.
Sa inyong lahat, maraming salamat Sir Larry, talagang taos-puso kami nagpapasalamat sa iyo because you are allowing Filcom TLC CARES Project to be on your show. Salamat din, katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Larry, na maraming salamat sa mga nakikinig sa radio KNDI, KPHI, KPRP, at sa mga nanood sa virtual show with Sir Larry Ordonez Facebook page. Please like and connect. Marami kaming ipapamahagi sa inyo. Marami kaming gustong sabihin na importanteng impormasyon tungkol sa COVID-19. At syempre, meron din naman tayong mga entertainers na katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Larry. Akala ko local, pero global pala tayo. Mga kaibigan, 2 oras lang po tayo. Kanya please don't go away. Merong mga premyong pwede kayong manalo. $20 gift certificate. Diba marami rin mabibili doon, diba Kuya Larry?
Yes.
$20. text po kayo. Text kayo sa, kumuha na kayo ng papel at lapis. Please write this down, 808-799-3209. Sabihin ninyo sa amin kung nasaan kayo kasi gusto rin naming malaman kung saan kaming parte ng mundo nakarating ni Sir Larry at ang grupo namin na project team. Uulitin ko, 808-799-3209. Ito din po ang numero para sa games natin mamaya. Paalala, kung nasa Facebook kayo, please share ninyo ang aming virtual show sa mga kaibigan, pamilya, kahit nag-iisa lang po siya ng kaibigan, paki-share kasi you can create a watch party para makarami tayo at ang pinaka-importante ay malaman ng maraming tao ang tungkol sa aming importanteng mensahe tungkol sa COVID-19. Sir Larry.
Thank you very much, Miss Clemen. And in our program today, we'll be speaking a little bit of English, a little bit of Tagalog, and a little bit of Ilocano. Iti programa tayo itangal daw, agsarita dagiti isang sangaili tayo kadagiti kaudyan nga impormasyon may papanti COVID-19 ken mangipaayda iti pamagbagan o kasano itin tayo panagrambak akadwa dagiti miyembros ti pamilyas panagtatarip nung man agapo iti kasangay graduasyon wenno panagrambak iti sumaganad nga holiday season banagadakkel tinagsupadyan na kadagiti kalabes at awtawen itatawen matingiting tayo ken natingiting tayo kadagiti adu a bambanag ngem siyempre agyaman ken agrambak tayo asianad ken taginayonen nga aramiden dagiti pagsayatan tayo asa nga pada. To get this program and this show started, we are honored to have Attorney Danny Juan, the Executive Director of Filipino Community Center, to welcome our listeners as well as viewers. Aloha to you, Attorney Danny Juan. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Sir Larry. On behalf of the Filcom staff, its volunteer board of directors led by Chairman Ed Exon, the constant support of Eddie Flores, Roland Casamina, I am pleased to welcome all of you to today's radiothon. Thank you, Sir Larry, for KNDI's involvement to host this program, along with KPRP and KPHI. 2020 has placed us all in very unique situations with the COVID pandemic. We find ourselves pivoting in various directions to keep moving. We have all been inundated with so much information, resources, government assistance, and yet many organizations trying to help our communities during these frightful times. Even this past Thanksgiving celebration, we found ourselves in an awkward position, relearning how to celebrate the holidays with our families and friends, yet still remain safe, and to somehow avoid large gatherings can still be tempting. We must continue being alert and to continue to take all necessary precautions. Although Filcom has been known to be the gathering place for many Filipinos, due to the restrictions in place, Filcom also needed to pivot. So here today with the help of the Legal Clinic in Hawaii and many volunteers like Agnes Malate, Annie Sapol, and Amy Agbayani, and countless more, Filcom can still be a gathering place, but now for information and inspiration. On our website, the Filipino community can find another source to get access to various resources, guidelines, and assistance. You'll find helpful information, videos, health, government resource links, and downloadable materials and flyers. This information will be found in English, Tagalog, and Ilocano, and can be found at www.filcom.org or at www.filcomcares.org. Once again, I urge everyone to continue to remain vigilant, to take the necessary precautions during these turbulent times. As additional information becomes available, we too will update our website. Thank you, stay safe, aloha, and please enjoy the rest of the program today.
Thank you so much, Donnie Juan. We appreciate that we are working together in this particular project. It is certainly a good project for us to be with Filcom. And we just really want to reiterate that we know it's going to be difficult for big Filipino families to just limit it to 5. That will be difficult for us because we know that we love our families, many generations in under one roof. But we appreciate what you just said, and looking forward to how we can work better with this COVID. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So to introduce our next guest, she is Dr. May Rose de la Cruz. She is the assistant researcher at UH Manoa, University of Hawaii at Manoa, and advisor and an esteemed member of the Filcom TLC CARES project. Maganda yung pangalan namin kasi TLC CARES project. Dr. May Rose de la Cruz will share with us what inspired this group to start this effort and what can we expect from the initiatives.
Salamat, Manang Clem.
Awanan yaman.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako si May Rose de la Cruz, University of Hawaii Office of Public Health Studies. I was born in Davao City, Mindanao. Si Tatay Lordo Isnick Sr. galing sa Tingras, Ilocos Norte, at si Nanay Minda Isnick is from Carmen, Bohol. I wanted to acknowledge them first and thank you for them for bringing me here in Hawaii. How we started, it's because the bad rates of COVID-19 with our population, with Filipinos, we're number 2 in the state. We're at 21%. And as a group with PUSO, we call ourselves PUSO, Filipino Underrepresented Scholars Organization. We consist of researchers, educators, advocates, and we wanted to organize and see what we could do to help our population because of the bad rates. So Dr. Amy Agbayani, Dr. Agnes Malate, and I like to do research, and we wanted to put a grant together. So we got a grant with the CARES Act with the legal clinic over in Kalihi and the Filcom Center over in Waipahu, both places where we have high Filipino residents numbers, and we wanted to combine them together, and we wanted to make sure that we have resources for our kababayan, to make sure our rates decrease, to make sure we have resources like Manong Dani said, and to make sure that we have networks so that we can continue on after 2020. So what we did with this grant was we have COVID-19 testing that Dr. Clem will be talking about soon. And we also have the radiothon. And what I focus on is outreach. So I help develop materials and assist in translating it into Ilocano and Tagalog. And we put it on the Filcom website. So please tell your lolos and lolas, manongs and manangs to visit the Filcom website. It is Filcom CARES, CARES.org. There are links there to videos, to materials, and these materials we'll talk about COVID-19, we'll talk about where you could get food at food distribution sites, and if you can travel to the Philippines, we'll have that up soon. But you could also follow Filcom Center on the Facebook page. So these are great resources. And we want to get the information out in Ilocano and Tagalog and English to make sure everyone will get it, and make sure that we decrease the number of cases for our kababayan in the state and especially on Oahu. Thank you to everyone. Please wear your mask, wash your hands, and do social distancing. Salamat sa inyong lahat at please ingat. Thank you, Manang Clem.
Salamat. Maraming salamat, Dr. May Rose. I'm really learning a lot from you and from the team that's working together with this one, even though I thought I knew a lot, but there's certainly so much more information that we all need to learn from all the information that you are disseminating. I know that for everybody, Dr. May Rose de la Cruz has been working hard to get information out there, triple checking information with all the different languages that we have been using, and that will go on the web, on the orgs that she's using, flyers, and she's going to spread the word with the help of this particular project. And she also has very, very good assistants that's working with her. So kudos to those student assistants that you also have, Dr. Mayros. Maraming salamat. Lahat ng impormasyon na sinabi ni Dr. Mayros ay mahahanapan natin sa filcomcares.org, filcomcares.org, or if you go to filcom.org and click on the COVID-19 resources, you will get to the same page. Salamat ulit, Dr. Mayros de la Cruz.
Thank you very much, Miss Clemen. And of course, kada kayong kakailian, padak ni Ilocano, yawis mi kada kayo, gagayem ken kakabsat, iti pinangsurot yu, iti Filcom Center Facebook page, ken dagiti na dumadumang social media, mabasa, babayin iti bibisita yu, iti filcomcares.org, wenno filcom.org, ket italmegyo ti adda label na nga COVID-19 resources. You are watching our 2-hour radiothon on the latest information on COVID-19. Right now, we are blessed in our program to be joined by very talented singers. First, we have Miss Ana Davide, who is double majoring at the University of Hawaii at Manoa in Public Health and Philippine Language and Literature, with undergraduate certificate in Peace Conflict Resolution. In the future, she hopes to contribute to public health research while working with underserved communities locally as well as abroad. And right now, we'd like to present our first talent to sing in our program. This is Ana Davide on our 2-hour radiothon.
Hello everyone, my name is Ana Davide, wishing you all a very happy holiday season. I would like to thank everybody on the front lines fighting COVID-19, on the back lines making life continue to happen, and everybody in between for just making it through the day. Thank you so much for participating in this program, by watching and taking time out of your weekend to be here with us. I hope that you all stay safe and healthy during this holiday season. And I would like to present to you this song, Grown Up Christmas List, as popularized by Barbra Streisand. Thank you.
Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I wrote to you with childhood fantasy. Well, I'm all grown up now. Can you still help somehow? I'm not a child, but my heart still can dream. So here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list. Not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, that wars will never start, that time could heal all hearts, and every man will have a friend, that right will always win, that love could never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. What is this illusion called? The innocence of youth, maybe only in that blind belief can we ever find the truth. Let be no more lives torn apart, that wars will never start, that time could heal all hearts, and every man would have a friend, that right would always win, that love could never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. This is my only lifelong wish. This is my grown-up Christmas list.
Wow. Anna Davide, right here in our 2-hour radiothon. Thank you so very much, Anna Davide. And what a wonderful, talented, and beautiful young lady, gracing us with her singing talent. And welcome once again, everyone, to our 2-hour radiothon right here at 3 radio stations throughout the state of Hawaii, and likewise streaming live on Facebook.
Larry, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Don't want to bother you.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Let's see where we. You can. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much once again, Anna Davide. And let's go back to Miss Clemen for our next portion of the program. Clemen, we do have some giveaways in our program.
We got $20 gift certificates. What can we buy? What can we buy with $20 gift certificates? Para sa akin, last Thanksgiving, I was able to buy 9 pounds of my ham. So marami, and that was only 17. I had $3 to spare to buy patatas. So I bought patatas. For Sir Larry, we have our first giveaway. And so tell the audience how they will let us know.
All right, it is now time for our first giveaway. Text us your answer, your name, your address, and we will announce later if you are one of the lucky winners of this $20 gift cards from Foodland. Remember this number, and we want you to write it up, and if we can have our graphics up. Telephone number once again is 808-799-3209. 808-799-3209. And we have a question. We want you to listen very carefully. Question is, how can you stay in touch with the Filcom Center to get the latest COVID-19 information and programs? All right, so that's the question. Text your answer to 808-799-3209. 808-799-3209. Let me just translate that in Ilocos. Kasano ti panangamom kadag iti kaudyanan nga impormasyon iti COVID-19 ken sabsabali pay a programas manipod iti Filcom Center. Telepono ngayon kayo awagan 808-799-3209. Again, that telephone number is 808-799-3209. Agit agawaan nyo. No agtugtugaw kayo. If you're just sitting down and just holding your hands, you ain't getting $20 gift certificate. So, put your hands on your telephone, dial 799-3209, and then we want you to send us your name, your answer, and your address. All right? So, telephone number once again, 799-3209.
Paano ninyo malalaman ang mga impormasyon, saan kayo pupunta? At syempre, alam natin lahat, hawak-hawak nyo na ang mga cellphone ninyo. Kanya, tumawag na po kayo, mag-text na kayo. I think we're moving on, right, Sir Larry?
Yes, we do have an announcement from the Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii. So we'll do that right now for our viewers as well as listeners. And here we go. We do have a little technical problem there, but Filipinos here in Hawaii have one of the highest COVID-19 infection rates in Hawaii, with nearly 300 Filipino-affiliated organizations in Hawaii. Many of our community leaders have gotten together to share their message of staying safe and make sure that you exercise the triple W's. First W, wash your hands. Second W, watch your distance. And third W is wear your mask. Clemen, we are having a little bit of technical issue on our end. So that was the message coming out of Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii. And we'd like to say big mahalo to its president, Dr.
Marel Ver.
Yes, and of course, also we'd like to say thank you to the members of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce who, together with Dr. Ver, put together that video. And
I like how you put it with the 3 W's. That's a good way to remember it. Wash, watch, and wear. So, syempre, you will know what to wash your hands, watch your distance, and of course, wear your masks. Always wear your mask. Do we still have time, Sir Larry? Because there's an important also thoughts about maybe how they can properly wear their masks. But we could cover that later if we're ready with our next panelists.
Yes, and in a few minutes we'll give a chance for our radio stations to identify themselves. That's coming up very shortly. But talking about wearing mask, Clemen, you know, in doing what we are doing right now, and that is stream on air and broadcast on air and stream online, while we are keeping distance from each other. Everyone's working from the comfort of their homes, and we are trying to put this show together. We have entertainers in Australia, in the Philippines, and of course here in Hawaii. And you are at your house, and I am at my house, and yet we are able to put together a show and program for the benefit of our Filipino community and to the underserved. Iso nga kada kayo amin asa nga pa dagagayem kan kakabsat laglagi penyo sang kapalagip kanyak ni bakit ko lagi tayo ko kunada ket
importante
daddy kunada dad da kami ti mapan ag shopping para ken ka ket masapul nga agusal ka ti mask kunada. So I have my mask, but right now I took it off because I'm the only one in my studio right now. So that's why I'm able to take it off. But they are watching me in the back to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And I even have, just in case our...
Good job, Sir Larry.
Our graphics guy might walk in and my daughter says, Dad, make sure that you have those... sanitizer right next to you so that you can cleanse your hands while they walk in, and they can do the same. So what have you been doing that to be safe, Clemen?
Well, whenever you wear your mask, masapol na nakakalog, takupam dayta agong mo, because some of the people we're seeing, their nose are out, so it's not helping themselves. So they can be protecting others because they're covering their mouths, but for themselves, they're not protecting themselves. No, nakaruwar dayta nga agong. So masapol nga adatakop na dayta nga agong ken ngiwat tayo amin. So ilong at bunganga dapat nakatakip at dapat secured talaga ang ating maskara. Kung maluwang na ang maskara, if it's loose, make sure that you tighten those elastics there, or if it's disposable, just like what Sir Larry has, you have to throw it away or change it. I believe na nakita ko sa box nun parang 4 hours ng constant, continuous use, kailangan palitan mo na. Now, if it's not, then make sure that you are going to use every day new ones, or kung pwedeng labaan nyo dahita nga mask sayo isalapay tapno, it kills off all the germs. So sabon lang. So make sure that you are this is just one of the things that we can actually do for ourselves and for those who are around us. So yep, that's one thing that you have to remember. So the 3 W's are always good. Wash your hands, watch your distance, and please wear your masks.
And once again, we'd like to say big mahalo, Diyos onay tiagina, maraming salamat to our sponsors in today's 2-hour radiothon. We'd like to say big mahalo to the Filipino Community Center. Also, we'd like to say thank you to the Legal Clinic, to the University of Hawaii, Manoa, as well as Ethnic Education Hawaii. And of course, we'd like to say maraming salamat to our members of our TLC CARES project team led by Dr. Agnes Malate and of course Clemen Montero, who is the communication specialist of the TLC CARES project team, and the rest of the members, and you will hear their names at the end of our program. Also, we'd like to say thank you to our dear friends who have volunteered to participate by sharing their talents to our viewers as well as to our listeners at these radio stations and on Facebook. We're trying to figure out how we can make our streaming public. We did a little bit, we made an error at the beginning. Are we able to do it? So I think we are now on public, right? Okay, so our assistants right here are trying to figure out how we can go public so that all of your friends and our friends are able to watch the program, share our program, have a watch party in our program. If you are my friend, please make sure you grab and share this show, this virtual radiothon to your friends, because we do have members of our panelists who are with us and giving us information, latest information on COVID-19. So at this time, what we would like to do, Clemen, is to allow our radio station partners to identify themselves. And thank you. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to KNDI Radio. Thank you to KPHI. Thank you to KPRP. And we will be right back after their station identification. And thank you. I can hear we are monitoring the radio stations. So we'd like to say thank you to them for the station ID. Right now, let's go back to our normal programming. And we do have our second segment, Clemen.
Segment 2, and it's going to explain to us about this business of TIERS, TIERS, what it is and what we can learn from it. But just to go back to our co-host, I'm not co-host, but the Ocean. We're also broadcasting on Oceanic Cable 882. I was told by the project manager. So it's Oceanic Cable 882. So ngayon, nasa segment 2 tayo, explanation of the tiers. Tungkol naman ito sa kalusugan at kaligtasan. Ang segment natin ngayon ay tungkol sa health and safety. Lalo na ngayong panahon na sunod-sunod po ang ating mga selebrasyon. May Pasko, katatapos lang ng Thanksgiving at marami pang iba, may New Year ulit. So alamin natin kung ano ang mga pinakamabuting ways, mga gawain natin para sa pagdiriwang. So in English, how can we safely celebrate? Kasama natin si Miss Lucy Pascual. She is the Administrative Services Officer and COVID-19 Officer from the City and County of Honolulu. Ken, ito na madamdama, kadwa tayo met ni Staff Sergeant Clemen Miguel, gapo iti Department of Health contact tracing team, and he will shed some light kadagiti sa ludsud tayo amin gapo iti tier system. So mag-umpisa po tayo with Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy, ano ang mga nararapat nating malaman at alamin tungkol sa tier 2?
Salamat, Clemen. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako si Lucy Pascual from Kapolei, dito sa Hawaii. From Bicol po ako sa Pilipinas. So, maray na aldaw po sa Idugabos, mga Bicolano. Okay, para sagutin po yung mga tanong ni Clemen ng Tier 2 along with its restrictions, I will have to mention to you yung mga different places, events, and yung mga limits po. Okay, so we'll start with 1, essential businesses, groceries, and clinic. Pwede naman po tayo makapunta kahit anong oras. However, parati po nating alalahanin na magamit tayo ng mask, social distancing 6 feet. Huwag po tayong tututok sa ating sinusundan. Kahit tayo nagmamadali, always practice 6 feet social distancing. Okay, number 2 po, social gatherings. Parks, beaches, restaurants, outdoor sports. Limit po tayo sa 5 people. Okay. Number 3 po, spiritual services, churches. Dito po, limited tayo sa 50% capacity. Halimbawa po ako, pumupunta po ako sa St. Jude. 300 po ang full capacity namin. Sa ngayon, tinatanggap lang po namin ang 150 limit. Social distancing din po, ang magkakapamilya limited sa 5, pwede kayo magkaupo together. And then, 6 feet distancing po sa ibang bubble, sa ibang pamilya. Also po, meron kami mga hand sanitizer all over so you can help yourself. And then po sa choir, limited lang po sa isa ang kumakanta para sa safety ng lahat. Okay, number 4 po, hair, nail salon. Tayo pong mga Pilipino, mahilig po tayong magpaganda. Very concerned po tayo sa ating hygiene, sanitation. And so po, nakabukas na po ang mga parlor ngayon. Pwede po nating puntahan. Pero po, uli, mag-mask tayo. Yung mga barbero po, kung manotice ninyo, naka-face shield sila, hand sanitizer all over, and then po, halalahanin natin yung mga natatouch natin na common areas, pintuan, bago tayo po umupo, mag-hand sanitize tayo, o i-sanitize natin ng mga wipes. Okay? Ang number 5 po, business offices. Kung hanggat sa maaari po, kung pwede lang naman po magpahintulutan ng mga employer, ang employees na pwede pa mag-remote work, magtrabaho po sa bahay for as long as magampan na nila ang kanilang mga assignment. Please do so po, stay home. Huwag niyo po mamimiss ang iyong mga magagandang, mababait na amo.
Talaga.
Dadating po tayo dyan na babalik tayo sa ating mga trabaho. Okay, number 6 po, funerals. Tayo pong mga Pilipino, mahilig din tayo makiramay, nakakaawa din yung mga namatayan. Ngayon po, ang funerals limited sa 10. Pero ang kagandahan na lang po, with all the technologies ngayon, pwede tayo mag-zoom in. Ang mga services po ngayon, viewing, they're allowed to do a zoom in. Okay? Yung mga hindi ko po na-mention ng mga activities, please just check yung website ng Filcom, okay? So yung pangalawang tanong ni Clemen, how are we gonna be moving from Tier 2 to Tier 3? Ito po ang mga kondisyon. Dapat po sa loob ng 7 consecutive days, huwag lalampas ang ating cases ng 20 to 49. 49 po. Anything beyond 49, 50 and above, kung ganyan ang cases natin for the next 7 days, hindi po tayo makakaabante. Also, percentage-wise, dapat po hindi lalampas ng 1 to 2.49% ang positive cases. So kung yung tinesting po 1,000, dapat po hindi lalampas ng 24 ang na-test positive for the next 7 days for us to move forward. Okay? So as always po, hinihikayat ko kayong lahat to comply with CDC guidelines. Very basic po, yung mask covering, social distancing, hugas kamay, tuloy-tuloy na po natin para hindi na po tayo cha-cha-cha, abante, shutdown, abante, shutdown.
Talaga, totoo yan, so, totoo.
Sana po may natutuhan kayo sa aking mensahe. Maraming salamat po, mabalos, hanggang sa susunod.
Maraming salamat, Miss Lucy Pascual. Just to reiterate what she just said, kung nag-test ng ang 1,000 tao, 1,000 people, less than 24 ang para makaalsa tayo or pumunta tayo sa tier 3. Tama po ba? So if 1,000 people test, dapat less than 24 people.
Yes.
Yeah, so yan ang goal natin. Kayang-kaya natin ito, basta magmaskara kayo. Lalo na yung mga maskara ngayon, ang stylish na sila, di ba? Pwede mo ibagay sa iyong outfit. Pero maraming salamat, Lucy. Sana sana matatawagan ka pa rin namin sa mga darating na araw para sa more input from you. Okay, salamat po.
Okay.
Sir Larry.
Yes, right now let's go to Staff Sergeant Clemen Miguel from the Department of Health Contact Tracing Team. The question is, what are the best ways to keep our families safe during this holiday season? Anya dagiti kasasayaatan awagas tapno masalakniban dagiti miyembros ti pamilyas iti daytoy holiday season.
Thank you, Sir Larry. Naimbangal daw kada kayo amin apo ng agdindingeg ken nakasubaybay kada dating radiothon dito ay KNDI, KPHI, ken KPRP. Siya ni Staff Sergeant Manuel Kremlin, representative of the Army National Guard ken Department of Health, leader ti Contact Tracing Team para Pacific Islanders Outreach and Investigation live from the headquarters. So, tagalawag apo sa pasensya kayo no, daayog ko basit. Agyaman akta na imbitaranak nga agsauga po ti Filcom TLC CARES Project tapno mangipadamag no anyaman ti mabalin nga ubraen tapno natalget ti pinagrambak kadi gitoy sumungad nga okasyon namuna ta datay met nga rode ti berber mansen ya masungat ti Paskwa ken baro nga tawen so dagitoy ti mabalin nga rami din apo sakbay nga pinagrambak no mabalbalin ket liklikan pa lang ti adu nga pinagkakadwa apo numan plano yu ti agigiddan na mangan ket usaren ti computer, tablet, cellphone virtually ag FaceTime tay basit pa lang umuna Facebook, Zoom, digijay. So lima laing ag kabalay pa lang ti mabalin nga agsisinango ti pinagselebrar. Ag usar ti tapo para iti agong ken ngiwat. Kasla kada ti usarekta ta maskara iti uneg ken warno saan amang mga no agrarambak. Numan mangan di tarwar ti balay ket siguraduan nga adda innem adapan iti baet yu apo. Ket sapay kumata ilabayan yung met tibagbagiyo numan mga kayo nga agigitlan. Ken ruwaman tay latta ti agbugo sakbay ken malpas nga mangan. Ken agdisinfect digiti banag akanayon mag-iggaman tayo wenno digiti inaldaw nga masagsagi diyan ta balay. Tapno kasla kuma light switch, telepono, doorknob, wenno remote control ti TV. Numan ikaten tayo digiti maskara tayo kaya ante nga dagos nga sagidan ti mata wenno agong wenno ngiwat kasapulan tayo ti agbugong umuna ken uray no anyan to ket nga aramiden sa naliplipatan dagitoy apo ket tapupan yo talaga ti rupa yo ken ngiwat yo ruaman ti pinagbugod dagiti iman siguraduen nga adda iti saan nga agkurkurang ngem innem adapan ti nagbetan yo nga kakadwa no addaman mading riknayo gurigor uyek rigat ti pinaganges tawagan yung adagos ti doktoryo ken agtalina ti balay ken siguraduhan yung mapangking agpates nga dagos ti COVID mabalin nakbet nga tawagan ti 808-204-0769 wenno 808-691-80 or 0849 and 808-693-6427 tapno matulungan da kayo apo nga no anyaman ti sumaron nga obraen nyo i-check yung met apo ti website ti Filcom ta talaga nga nalingad damit nga makasubaybay kanyayo. Ken sapay ko matapo ta nakapidot kayo met lang ti basit nga leksyon para kada kayo ken pamilyayo ket agrambak kayo anatili na ed palubos ni apo. Ken again sak ni Staff Sergeant Manuel agyaman ako na apo ti KNDI. Miss Clem, thank you.
Maraming salamat. Agyaman kami met. Sir Larry?
Well, thank you very much. Diyos unay ti agngina kada kayo Staff Sergeant Clemen Manuel from the Department of Health Contact Tracing Team, and also would like to say thank you to Miss Lucy Pascual, Administrative Services Officer and COVID-19 Officer from the City and County of Honolulu. At this time, we'd like to welcome our next entertainer in our program. We have a bank executive We have an owner of JT Sounds and Visual Productions. He is a concert producer. He's a member of the board of directors of the Oahu Filipino Community Council of Hawaii. He's a recipient of multiple awards in music and in community services, originally from Badok, Ilocos Norte, and now on Oahu, Hawaii, married to Jane Cristobal Tolentino, and they have 3 kids, Jeno, Jade, and Jabin. And here he is to entertain all of us. This is Mr. Joel Sarmiento Tolentino.
Hello and greetings to all listeners and viewers of this program here in Hawaii and around the world. Let's continue to be safe, protect each other by wearing masks, washing hands, keeping socially distant from one another. I'm Joel Tolentino of Oahu. Mele Kalikimaka, this song is dedicated to all of you. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang the shining stars upon the highest bound, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Shining star upon the highest bound, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Joel Tolentino of Oahu, Hawaii, sharing his talent with all of us. Thank you so very much, Joel Tolentino. And right now, let's talk about the COVID-19 testing. And with us today is Dr. Scott Miskovich, President and Founder.
Actually, Dr. Agnes Malate is with us.
Oh, okay. All right. So joining us right now is Dr. Agnes Malate. Thank you very much, Ms. Clemen. She's the Director of Health Careers Health Opportunity Program at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, and also leading the Filcom TLC CARES project. She will share her personal experiences on COVID-19 testing. So let's go right now to Dr. Agnes. Please tell us your experience with COVID-19 testing in Hawaii and why is it very important to get tested?
Just the agyamanakунay Manong Larry kan ading Clem when the experience sa kada itikwa nagtigorigor ko kat 104 degrees Fahrenheit and so talagang madanagan nagidikwa and so importante nga talaga dahil ito'y pinag-test tayo ti COVID. Dr. Miskovich couldn't be here today, but he has been with Premier. He's with Premier Medical Group and has been testing throughout the state as well as the United States, throughout in the mainland. So what he says, the takeaway I got from him, tikunana, dete testing talaga importante. As important is what we do afterwards. And how we go about after we've been tested. Ibagakman dete experience sa idi una dete adut mabuteng atay bagada nga mapanyan ti utok mo. Idi ko agad narigrigat ipangat kita amjeng ato kunada itagtangad ka sa daypanda dete nakaatidog nga pangtesta itan nalakaitan adaited baking ka and then alaon dete basit nga kasla swab dete pinag kurikur mo hang nga kasta ti katubker na kurikur mo ti lima sang agong mo and then DJ Maisa and then ipamuyan ti vial and then collectaran the data so nalaklakaitan so ti masapo nga laglagi kun tayo no matest ka no kasbagiri kang kumada symptoms mo at agurigor mo nasakit ti bagim nasakit ti karbokob mo mapangka matest di mo pa'y amo ti result na hangkang nga mapani J store wano bisita ang nagide kakabagyan mo orayem ti test na aga-isolate ka ti kunada pa'y no kasbagiri kang kumadadagita symptoms mo i-redeem dagiti badbado mo na nga no kasbagirigan awan pag adda tapalayo nga ag-quarantine ka adda papanan nga pagyanan itataong ag-test positive no kwa nga in kasta ti gobyerno so ti masarita kumaman hang kayo agbutbuteng and amok nga narigat no daduma no pa man kayo dagitoy testing sites iso nga dete ni Dr. Clementina Seria kun dagiti Filipino Diocesan of Filipino Catholic Clubs at danto ti testing ijay simbaan in ibaganto pa ni Dr. Clem ti plano mi may panggap ka dagita so iso ti kalkula nga sa no mapangka depende no sinot mang testing ka agrehestro ka no dagiti health center masapo kang agrehestro tawagam ita clinic adda ijay Kalihi Palama Health Center, Kukuwa Kalihi Valley, and ijay pay Filcom Center adda te Waipahu Post Comprehensive Health Center ijay nga lugar sa no kwa itugot mo te insurance mo tapnon mabalin nga i-build mo te insurance mo no kaspagarigan awan ti insurance mo mabalin la ta libre ti pinagtest sa tipay no detang aldaw in kanto test at the ID at the insurance mo at dapat dete mas mo nga usaram kaslat ko na ni Clem basta kung kalubang tagong mo kunti niwat mo one and then so encouraging kayo nga mapan ag test dagiti adto ti papanan tayo tapnon no kasparigan ag test ka ti positive di kad maamuan tayo tapnon may palit tayo magka-protektar ng dito pamilya tayo.
Dr. Agnes, saludsudek man no adda kadi makasao ti Ilocano wenno Tagalog kadagiti luglugar nga imbaga mabalin nga mapanan nga agtest.
When nasa at sinalsud mo deta Clem at the outreach workers tayo ti Filcom project and ti mo yun siguro dagiti duang outreach workers tayo to kat hire me isuda. So tinagan dagat Loreto Coloma Jr. Kun Bernard Menor Jr. Jr. na nga dua. And laing ni Bernard nga salita ti Ilocano kun Tagalog ni Loreto amo na ti agsalita ti Ilocano. Sa adu sa malipay nga volunteer tayo.
May sapay nga sa ludsud, I think adapay oras ay basit langin. No maamwanda nga adati COVID da, sa dino ti papananda, ken amo tayo kadi no sa dino dagito nga luglugar.
No adda kas pagrigan ag positive da, adda mang tawag kadakwada.
Okay.
And isong ag partner kami kagita Premier Medical Group kanda kita Community Health Centers that is isulati mangi will refer them, and also ni Bernard ken ni Loreto tulungan da nukas pagring kumadi da amo dikad ti papananda adda magtulong kada kwada mo da sarita ti Ilocano ken Tagalog.
Sa balibay nga saladsod Clemen and Dr. Agnes, kasapulan ka ding adda order iti doktor mo sakbay nga makapan ka ag-test no adda COVID mo no awan COVID mo?
Haan Larry, itanket dite testing di mo masapol data at itan adati test nga para datayo amin. And then iso nga kayat ti gobyerno ken dagiti health organizations nga matest ka. For example, right now we have the testing at the different sites, Colleen as one, Kapolei, different places around the island. So you may be asymptomatic, you may not be showing that you have the symptoms for COVID, but you might actually be carrying it. And even if you test negative like I did, despite the symptoms, there may still be a possibility. So going back again to the basics, the 3 W's. And so if anything, celebrating safely and taking care of each other, it's still the best way to protect each other.
Blawan ka man, Dr. Agnes, naglaing kamit gayam nga agsaot ti Ilocano.
Nalaing kayo nga duwang ang sarita ti Ilocano.
Sinsinan. Sikunan kayo po kas la 5th generation.
Mabalin lata. Matarusan da ka, kabsat, matarusan da ka. Sir Larry, moving on. Entertainment
yes.
ka, no?
All right. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to Miss Clemen, our co-host in this program, and also thank you for the information, very valuable information from you, Dr. Agnes Malate. And at this time, we'd like to present to all of you our next entertainer. She is from Batak City, Ilocos Norte, now in New South Wales, Australia.
Wow.
She's a hotel housekeeping supervisor, one of the program directors of Filipino radio program that we do each Sunday, and also a station owner, CEO, and DJ of SVA FM online radio station. She's a co-creator of Smule Music Gem Plus. She's also a notable songwriter. Her name is Leilani Kulit Rogers, and we'd like to present her right now. She's all the way in Australia, greeting our listeners and viewers here in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Aloha at magandang araw sa lahat ng ating mga tagapanood at tagapakinig dito sa Hawaii at sa ang sulok ng mundo.
Dave, are we able to play it on your end? And we are having a little bit of technical issue in our playback. We'll see if our dear friends who are in our driveway. We have a tent. And by the way, Annie Soko and Agnes Malate and Benji, Agnes' classmate, thank you so very much for the tent. We have a setup outside where we have on my driveway David Florendo helping us out on the graphics, and we have Benji Arista who's also helping us out. So we have two technical staff outside of our studio right here in Mililani. So are we able to play it on your end, David and Benji? Okay, so while they are setting it up, maybe we should go ahead to our next portion, Clemen.
Sa palagay ko, meron tayong station ID para malaman ng mga ibang tao who we are working with, aside from KNDI, KPHI, and KPRP. We are also with Oceanic Cable 882. Sir Larry, meron kayong, I think, identification time?
Yes, and once again, we'd like to say big mahalo to our broadcast partners. We'll do a little bit of music background while our radio station partners identify themselves. Thank you, KNDI. Thank you, KPHI.
Maraming salamat.
And thank you, KPRP. We will be right back.
Sir Larry, you got something to say?
And thank you once again to all of our radio station partners. Right now, we'll go back to our technical staff, and we are going to see how we can do a playback all the way from Australia, Leilani Joy Kulit Rogers. So anytime you are ready, Benji, let's go ahead. It's a challenge to do all that we do on television.
Talaga, totoo.
We do not have an audio on... let's have an audio, Benji, please. Okay, so we are trying to make the best of what we can while exercising, social distancing. We are far away from each other, which normally to do a task like this, you have 3 to 5 people working together, close to each other, giving instructions to each other so that as a team, like a band, you can provide the necessary audio and video displays. But we are restricted with our social distancing. We are all wearing masks, by the way, because we need to also exercise safe. Okay, so I have the blue one. I will send it to you while I help my my staff right here, our technical crew, Clemen. So maybe we can thank our friends. Okay, so multitasking. I'm getting phone calls, and some others are talking to me. So let's go ahead and thank our partners, and a reminder to our friends who are watching us as well as those who are viewing us. Clem?
So again, maraming salamat sa mga Filcom TLC CARES project team who is proudly presenting this with Sir Larry Ordonez. Talagang nagpapasalamat kami kay Sir Larry because this is his show, and we're taking 2 hours of his show for this particular project. So maraming salamat. He is also the president of Ethnic Education Hawaii. We also want to do another call. Plead for you to follow filcomcares.org or filcom.org and click COVID-19 for the latest resources. And yes, you have heard earlier with Dr. May Rose de la Cruz, she's always updating it with the help of all of the other project team, like Ellen Ray Cachola, who is very diligent at doing all of these graphics and even text of these materials. Sir Larry, are we going to the next segment already, or are we trying to listen to?
We're trying to see if we can. We are trying to see if we can get our
okay,
our entertainer from Australia.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Can we go ahead and play from your end, Benji? Okay. Okay, we are sorry. We'll dub it in a little later in our program. But like what they do on television and on radio, we have to keep moving forward.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Our regrets to Leilani, because Leilani and her friends over in Australia and throughout the world, she's a very popular song artist. I know one of her songs for a couple of days, she had over 20,000 viewers on one song alone. And she hails from Batak, Ilocos Norte, and now over in Australia. Let's go ahead to our next segment in our program. And
our next segment is all about contact tracing team. And we are... well, actually, Sir Larry, we're on the second part of the show already. Tapos na po ang isang oras na lang, ang bilis. So we are now on the second half of our show. We are joined today by our contact tracing team from the Department of Health, and they are working on reaching out and educating our community about COVID-19. So we have Ms. Chantel Iseta Matagi from Contact Tracing and Lead Investigator Team 6B, and Mr. Chris C.J. Johnson, Program Specialist from COVID-19 Community Outreach and Education. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us today.
Let's start with Chantel. Chantel, what should you do if you are tested positive for COVID-19? How do you isolate safely? If, for instance, you tested positive, what are the resources out there that are available to help you and your family isolate safely?
Sure. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that we're so happy to be here, to be representing the Department of Health today, and to be able to reach out to our diverse Pacific communities, especially our Filipino community. So if you become infected with the virus, you must stay home, isolate yourself from others in the family so that they do not get sick, and seek out medical attention if your symptoms worsen. For a minimum, you must isolate for 10 days. Now, you might ask, what does isolation mean? Well, isolation means stay in a room by yourself, have your own restroom, and if that's not possible, clean the restroom after each use. Stay away from others, wear a mask if you have to be in the same room with others, and have separate plates, cups, and cutlery for your use only. Now, I know a lot of us live multi-generational, so isolating yourself may not be possible. What we do have is resources available. So we have the Hawaii CARES line, which you can call at 808-832-8100, and they will assist you in getting a free isolation unit. Now, what we'll do is we'll come and pick you up. We'll take you to the hotel. We'll provide 3 meals, and during each meal, we'll check your temperature. This is, again, to help those who are unable to isolate safely on their own at home.
Ms. Chantel, can you please repeat that number that you just mentioned?
Sure. The number is 808-832-8100.
Maraming salamat. Thank you so much. This next question is for CJ. CJ, can you please share with us about the status of the vaccine and how will it be distributed, especially for people here in Hawaii?
Sure. So to start off, I want to make sure everybody understands a vaccine is specifically a kind of medicine that keeps you from getting sick. A vaccine is prevention and not cure. And I think that's a really important point. It's not something that when you already have COVID, you take and that it gets you better. It's something that we take before we get sick to keep us from getting sick. So the vaccines that you're hearing about in the news have been being tested by volunteers for several months, and they've been asking the volunteers, monitoring the volunteers to make sure that they're safe. The vaccines that are currently being, that are very close to being available, that are very close to being approved, are between 90 and 95% effective. And what that means is that if for every 100 people that take the vaccine, 90 to 95 of them are then immune to acquiring COVID-19. So that's very, very effective. It's not 100%, but it's very effective. There are some side effects that have been reported by people who have taken them, and their side effects like fever, body aches, headaches, exhaustion, and other symptoms. But they're uncomfortable, and sometimes they're kind of bad. But the participants who've gotten the vaccines have all said that they went away after a day or two, and that they were much less bad than getting COVID-19. So the earliest that we could see vaccines here in Hawaii is mid-December. Those decisions get made by the FDA and by the federal government. But what our job at the DOH and with our partners is to make sure that we are in a state of readiness, that we're ready to go as soon as they get approved, as soon as they're allowed for use. We are currently planning for what happens when that gets here, and our plan starts in mid-December. So if everything goes well and the vaccines get approved, in mid-December they will start arriving here on the island for distribution. There won't, of course, be enough initially for the general public. So what has happened is we've created a prioritization list, and that prioritization list starts with healthcare providers, people that work in senior care facilities, first responders like paramedics and firefighters and other people who are at higher risk. And then the second tier after that is folks who have, for various reasons, conditions or circumstances that make them more high risk for either catching COVID or for having a more severe case if they catch it. We are working really closely with National Guard, with healthcare providers, with community orgs like Filcom to make sure that the community gets the latest info on vaccines as they become available. And obviously things are changing very quickly, but if you stay in touch and follow us on our social media channels, if you follow Filcom, we'll make sure that all of our community partners have accurate, timely info. And in the meantime, it's not here yet, so please continue to practice smart hygiene, like masking and avoiding large crowds until we're safe and healthy, which we really do hope to happen sometime over the course of 2021. The vaccine should be fully available to the public, to anybody who wants it, which we hope
that is great news. That's really good news that it's going to come to us soon. My question is, how is it administered? Is it just through injection, or are there other ways?
It is currently an injection, and actually there's a couple of different vaccines that are very close to approval, and they have different this is where it's going to get a little challenging for us and for our partners to communicate with the public. They have different schedules, so they're multi-dose, which means you take an initial dose and then you have to take a follow-up dose a specific amount of time later, and depending on which vaccine, that can either be 21 or 28 days. So it's going to be really important that we all work together to make sure that if you get the vaccine, that you follow up and get the second dose at the appropriate time, or it's less likely to be completely effective.
And is the vaccine the same for children, adults, or elderly?
As far as I know, there are just a couple of different vaccines, and I probably shouldn't speak to like dosages. Yes. But yeah, there are the vaccines are the couple of vaccines that are very close to the finish line here are the same that you would apply for any members of the population.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Chantel, and thank you so much, CJ. I don't know if Sir Larry might have follow-up questions for you. Sir Larry?
I do not have any, but very, very important information from CJ. And looking forward to more information. And he made mention that for the latest information, and that's what we are trying to achieve here, is to make sure, check it out with the Department of Health website, as well as the Filipino Community Center website. They will have the latest information about when the vaccine is available, and he made mention about this is not a vaccine.
It's preventive and not a cure.
Yeah,
yes,
not a cure.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so that's very, very important information.
Yes.
And you can go to hawaiicovid19.com, and we've got documents available in all of our priority languages for Hawaii if you need more information. We've got a lot out there.
That was Hawaii COVID.
HawaiiCovid19.com. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for your time, and I'm sure that you will hear from that from us again, the team, and Sir Larry in the future, especially when the vaccine is here, and where to go and all that other good stuff from you. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you. CJ. Hanggang sa muli, until the next time.
All right. Right now, let's go for our second giveaway. You can win a $20 gift card from Foodland. Clem?
Foodland talaga. Marami kang mabibili sa Foodland. Ado dagiti magatang tayo jay Foodland. So text us your answer to the question that we're going to ask. But we would like your name, anya tinagan nyo, and contact information. Well, I'm not sure what you feel comfortable texting, but we would like a contact information. So in case you win, we will give you a call. We will contact you at the end. If you are one of the lucky winners for the $20 gift card certificate from Foodland, we will be sure to contact you. So make sure that you're texting us the answer to the next question at this number, 808-799-3209. And the question, Sir Larry?
Well, the question is, what are the ways to protect ourselves from COVID-19? What are the ways to protect ourselves from COVID-19? You can see it on your monitor right now. If you know the answer, text your answer, text your name, your address. Anya dagiti wagas apang salaknib wenno pang protektar kadagiti bagbagi tayo manipod COVID-19. Text your answer. Text you the answer you the 808-799-3209. You can see it on the screen, 808-799-3209. We have our volunteers who are helping us out to make sure we have your name, your address, and of course what else do we need there? Your answer. Actually, and your name and address.
If you don't want to give the full address, mabalin yung ited laing the zip code yo, because we just want to know where you are and how far we have reached during our radiothon.
Ken iyam momento no madamdama gagayam ken kakabsat iyam momento dagiti nangabak kadagitoy nga gift cards iti kamaudyanan iti programa tayo itangal daw. Right now, let's go to our next segment. The holiday season is usually a time when we take a break and visit our families in the Philippines and here in the United States. But during this pandemic, travel looks very different from what we are used to. We are honored that we are joined today by Consul Grace Ann Bolos from the Philippine Consulate and Mr. Jade Butay, Director of Hawaii Department of Transportation. Aloha to both of you, Consul Grace and Mr. Butay.
Aloha.
Aloha, Consul Grace. So our question for you is that some of our kababayans are thinking, nag-iisip pa lang sila papunta sa Pilipinas at gusto nilang magbakasyon. Siyempre, lalo na ngayong Christmas. Pero alam naming maraming bawal, maraming kailangang alamin. So, ano ang mga talagang nararapat nilang alamin bago sila pumunta sa Pilipinas or even begin preparing for their travel?
Hello, magandang umaga po. So una po sa lahat, pinapaabot ko po yung pagbati ni Consul General Joselito Jimeno at ang aking mga kasamahan sa konsulado. Salamat Kuya Larry, Clemen at ang ating mga radio stations, KNDI, KPHI, and KPRP. Kinagagala ko po na makasama kayo ngayon para sa napakahalagang programa na ito upang magbigay kaalaman at makatulong na rin sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Hawaii. So punta tayo dun sa point na absolutely need to travel. Alam po natin na magpapasko, so marami sa atin gustong bumiyahe. Naintindihan namin na gusto nilang makasama ang ating mga pamilya sa Pilipinas, ngunit hindi po ito magiging madali, no? So sumunod po tayo sa mga sinasabi ng health experts, social distance, maghugas ng kamay, etc. Sa Pilipinas po ngayon, mahigit po 427,000 na yung cases at mahigit po 8,000 na yung namamatay. So kung babiyahe po talaga at kung kailangan, ito po yung mga pwedeng bumiyahe papuntang Pilipinas. Number 1, Filipino nationals. So anong kailangan ng Filipino nationals? kailangan nyo po ng passport na may visa. Filipino dual citizens, pwede rin pong bumiyahe. Ang hahanapin po sa inyo ng Bureau of Immigration, either Philippine passport, valid Philippine passport, or yung kanyang mga dual citizenship documents, lalo-lalo na po yung tinatawag na identification certificate. At ito po, magandang balita, lalo-lalo na at magpapasko nga, mainit pa nung November 26, naglabas po ng resolusyon yung Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. At sinasabi dun sa resolution na ito na simula December 7, 2020, makakapagbiyahe na po sa Pilipinas ang mga, tingnan ko lang yung kodigo ko kasi nakakalito, ang dami-dami regulasyon na bago. Yung mga former Filipinos, pwede na pong bumiyahe. Former Filipinos o yung tinatawag po na balikbayan. Kung kasama po ng former Filipinos ang kanilang mga foreign spouses or yung kanilang mga anak, regardless of age. So kahit matanda na yung anak mo, pwede mong isama. Pero kailangan po magkasabay silang bumabiyahe. No? Ang foreign spouses at children, regardless of age, of Filipino nationals, pwede rin pong bumiyahe, pero kailangan po kasama nila yung Filipino national. Ngayon po, dahil bago lang itong regulasyon na ito, 2 araw pa lang ang nakalilipas, hinihintay po namin yung mga guidelines ng Bureau of Immigration. At sa oras po na meron na kaming guidelines ay magpapaskill po kami ng kaukulang advisory sa aming website, sa website ng konsulado. Ngayon, para naman po dun sa mga ibang babiyahe, kailangan po ng visa at ito po yung mga nangangailangan ng visa. Foreign spouses of Filipinos, Filipino citizens, minor children, or special needs children, regardless of age, at yung parents of minor Filipinos or those with special needs regardless of age. So, kung babiyahe po ang mga ito na walang kasamang Filipino national, kailangan po nila mag-apply ng visa. At yung dahilan kung bakit po sila uuwi ng Pilipinas ay para po makasama yung kanilang mga mahal sa buhay, yung kanilang mga pamilya. Para po sa mga nangangailangan ng visa at iba pang serbisyo ng konsulado, check po yung aming website. It's https://honolulupcg.dfa.gov.ph. Kung kailangan niyo po kaming tawagan, ang mga numero po at ang email address po namin ay makikita din po sa website na yan. Andun din po yung informasyon tungkol sa pag-a-apply ng passport, pag-a-apply ng visa, pag-a-apply ng dual citizenship. Ngayon, ano naman ang aasahan nila pagdating nila sa Pilipinas? Meron po tayong tinatawag na 14-day quarantine at testing. So, pag landing ng eroplano mo doon sa Pilipinas, pupunta po kayo doon sa mga tauhan ng Bureau of Quarantine. Meron kayong mga ipilapan ng mga dokumento, mga health declaration, at sasailalim po kayo sa testing. Ngayon po, once na test kayo, pupunta kayo sa DOH accredited facility. DOH stands for Department of Health. Doon kayo magbo-book sa DOH accredited facility or hotel. At hihintayin nyo po yung test results nyo sa loob ng 2 hanggang 5 araw. Kung positive, unfortunately, kailangan magpa-treat or kailangan pumunta ng hospital. Kung negative naman po, ay papayagan na kayong bumiyahe sa inyong final destination, kung sa loob ng Metro Manila po yan or sa probinsya. Ngayon po, kung sa probinsya, ang advice po namin sa inyo, check po with your local government unit kasi baka meron po silang ibang quarantine regulations pagdating doon. At pagbalik naman po ng Hawaii, meron pong pre-travel testing, but since hindi pa po kasama doon ang Pilipinas, kailangan din po mag-quarantine. So bago bumiyahe, mag-isip-isip po talaga naman mabuti kasi quarantine 14 days, quarantine sa probinsya if ever, at quarantine pabalik. Isa't kalahating mo na quarantine. So, think well if you really need to travel, and make sure na hawak nyo po yung lahat ng dokumento na kailangan ninyo. So, muli, nagpapasalamat po kami at pinaparating po namin na ang konsulado ay handang maglingkod sa inyo sa abot ng aming makakaya sa gitna nitong new normal. Mag-iingat po tayong lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Very helpful information. Thank you very much, Consul Grace. Now let's go to Mr. Jade Butay. Same question, Mr. Butay. Bilang takasapulan onay ti panagbiyahe dagiti kakailyan tayo manipod kabangibang nga islas wenno pinagbiyahe sa jay US mainland, anya dagiti kapapatgan apang magbaga kadagiti biyaheros.
Diyos ti Agnino at maraming salamat Manong and kan dagiti tungtungeg ti radiothon ket kuma nakablawa kami dagiti kailyak yan ta San Nicolas Ilocos Norte alisto nga agbalbaloy ti kondisyon ket kasapulan nga agadaptar tayo kadagitoy agyaman kami to all the businesses ken ti publiko iti kinaman nakaawat da kabayatan nga arabida mi amin ang pamuspusan no kasano asang wende tuy ditigra. Mesa dito narigat sitwasyon gaputa anyaman a desisyon teramiden amin ket ataw ket maragsakan. And Hawaii has implemented a multi-layered screening process tapno maprotektaran ti salunad ti tumonggal maysa. Imuna ti Hawaii dito'y pagilyan anang ikabil kadagiti pagala ti temperature kadagiti tao kadagiti amin nga airports na ag-acceptar ti trans-Pacific flights. And we also implemented a safe travels program. Kasapol nga umanlugot ti safe travels program dagiti siya sinuman na kalikagong nga umay ditoy. This digital program mangkolekta kadagiti importanteng impormasyon tapno maprotektaran ti sanuad tayo dagiti kayat na ti agbiyahe masapol nga the safe travels account na within 24 hours of the flight sakbay ti biyahe masapol nga makumpleto ken may submitar kadagiti pasahero detay makungkunan nga QR code masapol nga the email address mo deto'y QR code ket isu ipakitam kadagitay airport screener apaman ang makasambay dagiti trans-Pacific pasahero dito'y Hawaii maala sigud dagiti temperature da haanen may sa ti panakaala ti temperature instead dagiti baro thermal screening equipment na install kadagiti airports, the 5 major airports in Honolulu, Kahului, Lihue, Kona, and Hilo. Nuti pasahero ket adaan temperature nga 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit when nunangat ngato masapol nga check upin da detoy. Maikan detoy a pasahero ti gundaway na no kahit na ti ag-COVID test when maipan ti emergency room no kasapulan. Dagiti pasahero nga awan gurigo na actually da mapan ti verification stations isu ditoy ti dete pakausaran ti safe travels program agpila da dagiti pasahero tapno mapanda ipakita dete QR code kadagiti airport screeners itoy dakitayen no stumet laeng dagiti impormasyon kadetoy a pasahero babaen ti pinangkita da ti ID kining test da ti cellphone pakatawagan da ti hotel pagyananda ken no kasunod kabayag da numayat amin dagitoy mabalin detoy pasahero ti rumwar no at the red X yan ti account detoy pasahero kaya't nasa when they either didn't fill out the form properly or they checked yes to the health question that would require additional medical screening. In 1-1 the Hawaii the pre-travel testing program na idi October 15 sakbay detoy kasapulan dagiti amin nga quarantine ti 14 days tatan adan waya-waya dagiti tao no kayat kameten ti pre-travel testing program mabalin dagiti pasahero nga agpa-COVID test 72 nga oras sakbay ti biyahe da ket no negatibo ti resulta na detoy handa kasapulan ti ag-quarantine no sumagbay da ditoy. Adu dagiti banag nga masapol nga lagipen, masapol nga dagiti trusted testing can travel partners ti estado ti Hawaii ti kapag COVID test. Masaragan ti listahan dagiti kadetoy a website hawaiicovid19.com /travel partners. Dagiti pasahero nga handa na oray ti negatibo resulta ti COVID test kasapulan dati ag-quarantine ti 14 nga aldaw wenno ti kabayakan ti kaadada ditoy no kas pagari abababa wenno ngem 14 nga aldaw ti kaadada ditoy. Sa Timet inter-island travel in-announce ni Governor David Ige the partial reinstatement of the inter-island quarantine effective August 11, 2020. So sino man na mapanyan ta Hawaii, Maui, Molokai kas sasaadin that the 11th supplementary emergency proclamation ket masapo na quarantine that the 14 aldaw. And yesterday, it was announced ni Governor Ige and Mayor Kawakami na effective December 2, aming Trans-Pacific and Inter-County travelers na mapan takaway at masapol na quarantine ti 14 aldaw ureno negative ti COVID test. Dagiti agabot ti Neighbor Island na umay dito Honolulu ket handa masapol ti quarantine no sumangbay da ditoy. Dagiti masapol na ti mapanyan tag Hawaii, Maui, Molokai mabalinda ti ag-apply ti limited quarantine request. No maaprobaran ti detoy mabalinda ti rumwar amapan arabiden dete nasisi ita abanag nga isu ti kasun no apay anay kanda ti limited quarantine pass. Handa mabalin no usarin mapan ag-shopping wano ag-pasyar wano aramidan dati anyaman abanag haan nga may tutok tinitin limited quarantine pass. No kasapulan dati makan nga ag-serbi kanyada bayad kaagdada ijay Neighbor Island mabalin dati agpa-i-deliver. Manong, this is a very fluid situation and we're continually making improvements on evolving passenger screening and verification process at the airport. So I'm not alone in being grateful for what you all are doing. So ado dito yung information. So agyaman at manong.
Thank you very much, Jade. And thank you for this very, very helpful information. Also, we'd like to say thank you to Consul Grace and Bolos of the Philippine Consulate General here in Honolulu, Hawaii, Jade Butay, Director of Hawaii Department of Transportation. We take a quick break for our station broadcast partners to identify themselves. We will be right back. And at this time, we are on our third giveaway. Win a $20 gift card from Foodland. And once again, make sure you remember to text your answer, your name, possibly your address or your zip code. Number is 808-799-3209. That's 799-3209. And the question is, let's put it up on the screen, Benji. What did you learn during this radiothon and what other topics would you want to cover in the future? Anya tinaadal yung manipo diti dayto ya programa a radiothon itangal daw ken anya dagiti sa balipay at topikos akali kaguman yu adenggen iti masakbayan. Ket mabalin nyo nga i-text dayta Sungbat yu iti numero makita yu iti screen 808-799-3209. That's 808-799-3209. And now let's go to our segment 6, Clem.
Segment 6 ay tungkol naman sa COVID-19 testing. It's about COVID testing in churches. And we're closing na pala after this. Pero importante to. So today we are joined to, okay, pasensya, na-excite ako kasi malapit nang matapos. Pasensya, Sir Larry. So COVID-19 testing in churches. One of the important parts of Filcom TLC CARES project is providing COVID-19 testing to at least 200 people in our community. And one of the strategies is reaching you where you are. So here with us today is Dr. Clementina Seria Ulep. She's the Professor and Associate Dean for Academic Affairs from UH Manoa and the Executive Secretary of the Diocesan Congress of the Filipino Catholic Clubs. And she's going to share with us where we can go for free COVID-19 testing.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Seria, okay.
Naimbag nga aldaw tayo amin na po on behalf of the Diocesan Congress of Filipino Catholic Clubs. Again, good day to all. And I want to thank the members of the Waipahu Council of Filipino Catholic Club churches for opening up their churches as venues for the COVID-19 testing, and also thank the pastors and Bishop Larry Silva of the Catholic Diocese. So I'm going to read off the names of the churches and the dates of the testing, okay? So Co-Cathedral St. Teresa will be on December 13. It will be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then tomorrow, it will be at Our Lady of the Mount Church in Kalihi Valley, and it will be at 10:15 in the morning. On December 20, it will be at Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and it will be at 12:15 p.m. And on December 13, it will be at Sacred Hearts Wayanay. St. Anthony in Kalihi will be on December 6 at 7:45 a.m. and 9:45 a.m. On December 13, St. Joseph in Waipahu will have testing at 7:15 a.m. and 9:15 a.m. And on December 13, St. Michael at 8:15 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. Other places, as announced earlier, will be at Filipino Community Center in Waipahu, December 3rd. The times still needs to be determined, so please check the Filcom website. And December 5 will be at 8:30 to 1 p.m. And what to bring to the test, you need to bring a form of ID, either a driver's license or a state ID, an insurance card, and don't forget to use your face mask. And it's free testing, as we said earlier, and the mode of testing will be walk-in because there's no pre-registration prior, so you need to register at the site. That's all I have.
Diyos tiangina, Dr. Clementina Seria Ulep. Ketitan, dandani tayo iti udi ti programa tayo itang aldaw, mapadayawan kami iti kakapun dito yung agdinama programa tayo ni Father Edgar Brillantes, manipul iti Our Lady of the Mount Church, ken agsarsabing spiritual director iti Diocesan Congress of Filipino Catholic Clubs. Father Edgar, kablawan da ka ken agyaman kami iti kadam, anya ti mensahe kadagiti umili iti dayto yung holiday season.
Hello, good morning, Manong Larry Ordonez and Clemen Montero.
Kumusta po?
Mabuti po. Kumusta rin? So, aloha, good morning everyone. And I'm honored to be part of this Filcom TLC CARES COVID-19 Radiothon virtual show. It's a beautiful day, thank God. And I believe everybody's having fun, and we continue to have so for the rest of this virtual show. So our speakers and entertainers are awesome and doing great. This is definitely a noble endeavor to hold this radiothon to provide more info about where we are now with regard to the COVID pandemic. We know that all over the nation and all over the world, it's still surging and spiking, and many thousands are still getting infected and victimized. I was shocked and terrified when I was shown some statistics or data about the Filipinos being on the top 3 in terms of infected cases in Hawaii. So before any one of us get infected or slain by the COVID, God forbid, we must remain on guard and forward-looking in order to be safe, healthy, and alive. I believe we want all to be exactly that, to be safe, healthy, and alive. So we appreciate and we are grateful to the organizers and sponsors of this radiothon and virtual show, the Filcom Center and the Legal Clinic of Hawaii, in cooperation with the University of Hawaii Manoa and at the Ethnic Education Program. We salute the group of Filipino leaders who took the initiative to come together and address the issue of COVID prevention and testing and take concrete steps to implement their action plan. And of course, special mention goes to Drs. Agnes Malate, Ami Agbayani, May Rose de la Cruz, Clementina Serye Ulep, and the project manager Annie Suko. I know that our beloved audience and everyone here are one with me, of course, in acknowledging and applauding the great services of our speakers from the sponsoring centers and organizations, the medical experts and health professionals, and of course, our very graceful MCs, the sikat na nagdidinamag ng Manong Larry Ordonez and Clemen Montero, my minister and parish leader at St. Peter and Paul in Alamoana. That's Clemen. And of course, the fabulous entertainers, Joel, Anna, Eugene, Aina, Lailani, and everyone else. So we thank also, of course, the radio stations, KNDI, KPHI, KPRP, Oceanic Cable 882, and the Facebook.com for their being venue and instrument for this wonderful radiothon. I was instructed to address and speak to my fellow Ilocanos about this matter. Naimbag kayo naragsak nga daw tayo amin, gayem kayo kamsat, kablawang nga rin itong kalmay sa kada kayo, di na siyat una yung aldaw sa ako'y pumata na isem, naragsak, nakaradkad ka napya kay langas nga pada, di kita nangigan tayo, manipod ka di kiti nalaing nasaririt nga nagsarita, kaya na agpay amin nga pagimbagan tayo, nang runa na iti panakailisik and panakailiklik tayo, iti COVID. Kaya sapay kung mga rod nasalunat, narigta, naganaygay kan sibibiyag tayo lata. Kas mabasa, kaya nakita tayo ti Paulo, when titulo dahil programa, kaya nang runa may turong kada tayo, nga kakailyan ng Ilocano. Tati titulo na kaya panagimbag tayo amin, nasayaat at panagrarambak. Kas makita tayo ti background ni Manong Larry. Healing for all, good ways to celebrate. Kaya agyaman tayo nga ron, datayo tinangruna nga pangiturungan dating programa, makatulong ka datoy amin, pagimbagaan, pagsayatan tayo amin dagitoy. Amo tayo nga nakabutbuteng, nakamamak dahil COVID, adun rinibribo, tinagsakit, ay dalit, kan natay, kan nagsaknapan sa lubungan, kan nudi tayo nga aganad, kan surutan ti ordinansa, kan bilin dagiti otoridad, mabalin datayo. Ti sumaruno ang mabiktima, yada tayo maapo. Ti pagsasao dating les kat health is wealth. Ti salunat kat gaming. Paiso tayo tatauray no kasano ti kalaing mo, kapintas mo, kagwapong wenno kangato ti posisyon kan pagsadam ti opisina wenno trabaho na wan met ti salunat mo, managsakit ka, aglaladot ka, wenno nakubid ka, awan serbina. Awan ti masakulam, awan ti maurnong mo, awan ti maawa mo nga sweldo. Kada sungagan lang tayo. Dito simbaan be, iwarwardas mi mati na ingat apan nagtungpal ti ordinansa manipod ti gobyerno ken ti diocese kanay nga bagami kadagiti parokyano. DJ 3W nga bagani manong lari, wash your hands, watch your distance, wear your mask. The 3W is importante. Bugwan nyo dagiti mayo sa rinyo ti maskara wen nabong tirupayo kasang kayo nga gumo nga tinaasida gagin na dayo kayo tinam nga dapan no 6 feet dagata nakasagana man dito sa renda nga disinfectant sanitizing liquids can wipes nagmi-meeting dagiti konseho ano kumita mi ket babayan lang ti go to meeting when Zoom when virtual meeting kaslitata ni Apo Bispo kada di na kaya nga ada makubid iso naingat ti paningwardas mi kadagiti paganurutan no kasta nga umay dagiti tao makimisa nang rona ti dati umasidag arambak ti misa di galyo simbang gabi kaya na selebrasyon ti Pasko no dagiti sa nga makumay gaputa high risk da mabuting da ang mga nakubid da mabalin man madispensada dispensary ni suda ti panakimisa da imnyat nagnapubis paging gati Disyembre 31 aging gati maudingal daw dating taon December 31 ti dispensation from attending mass but we provide the live streaming via our Facebook account facebook.com OLM Kalihi so that's our Lady of the Mount Kalihi kadayon nga mangigangan tayo ti washing of hands at basic na nakadalaing dati nga surutan sometimes at kung mga liplipatan the praying hands so we have washing hands we have also praying hands so kaspadi kan ministro ti api palagip kong arod mo tayo gagayan kan kabsat malaksid nakabutbuteng dati nga didigra kan angol ti gubid di tayo pa makita no sa dino ti ayan na no daduma awan ti senyal wano pakakitaan asymptomatic nga kunada nga madamat gayam kada tayon dahil ti nga virus isa nga awan met lang ti nangruna akamang ken kalasag tayo sariked tayo protection tayo no saan nga ni Apo Dios na marswa ken nailangitan nga ama agkararag tayo kaplagbiag kayo kasinsuro ni Apo Jesus nga naknak ken manubot kada tayo amin sa nga pada ngarod ulitek gagayong kan kabsat padak na Filipino kan Ilocano agan tayo surutan tayo dagiti paganurutan ng pagdat ti gobyerno kaya na isimbahan tayo ti otoridad di kasta may lisi tayo tay kunkunada nga second wave nga amangan no nakarkaro ano nakamamakman ng dating tiempo na ikaralag ko iti Diyos Apo ana salunad nakaradkad kanayang pagtaylatta ken nasayat naragsak ken narungbo tintay panagrambak asa nga pada a blessed and Merry Christmas ti Diyos ti magbendisyon kada tayamin
Just unay ti agngina Father Edgar Brillantes iti mensahe nga impay mo kadagiti amin nga dungdungeg ken mangbuybuya iti programa tayo iti daytoy akan ito and thank you for joining us and spending time with us to talk to our viewers and listeners. That's Father Edgar Brillantes. Right now, everyone, we have another entertainment finale. It's a song by Aina Applefres Fonasier of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. She's a teacher by profession and a multiple crown holder. 2011 Miss Mariano Marcos State University College of Teacher Education, Miss Ilocos Norte Cultural Community, Miss ABC Lawag. She's a music interpreter and singer for various cities and municipalities including Tanok ni Ilocano. And let's welcome right now to entertain all of us. This is Aina Applefres Fonasier of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, and she's over in the Philippines right now to address all of us.
Aloha everyone! Greetings to all our listeners here on KNDI, KPRP, and KPHI radio stations, and to all our international viewers via Facebook. I'm Aina Abel Fresco na shirt from Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, Philippines, reminding all of us to stay safe and continue protecting ourselves by wearing our mask, keep ourselves at least 6 feet from each other, and frequently wash our hands. And I dedicate this song to all of you.
Kung kailan pinakamadilim ang mga tala ay mas nagniningning gaano man kakapalang ulap. Sa likod nito ay may liwanag. Ang liwanag na ito nasa ating lahat. May sinag ang bawat pusong bukas sa init ng mga yakap. Maghihilom ang lahat ng sukat. Ang nagsindi nitong ilaw, walang iba kundi ikaw. Salamat sa liwanag mo, muling magkakakulay ang Pasko. Salamat sa liwanag mo, muling magkakakulay ang Pasko. Tayo ang ilaw sa madilim na daan, magkakabit-bisik lalong higitan. Dumaan man sa malakas na alon, lahat tayo'y makakaahon. Ang liwanag na ito nasa ating lahat. May sinag ang bawat pusong bukas sa init ng mga yakap. Maghihilom ang lahat ng sugat. Ang nagsindi nitong ilaw, walang iba kundi ikaw. Salamat sa liwanag mo, muling magkakakulay ang Pasko. Salamat sa liwanag mo,
Joining us from Lawag City, Ilocos Norte in the Philippines, the beautiful and talented Aina Applefres. So right here in our 2-hour radiothon brought to you by our good friends from the Legal Clinic, the Filipino Community Center, University of Hawaii at Manoa, and Ethnic Education Hawaii. Now it's time for us to announce the lucky winners of our giveaways. Let's go to Clem. And I think that as we were told by our directors, we have some of our volunteers helping us out to tell us who the winners are in our lucky giveaway. And once again, you will be contacted separately by our volunteers. Congratulations to Azucena Yakas, to Elnora Cachola, to Juliet Guillermo, to Sam, to Violeta Butay, Virginia Sugue Salaco, John Guillermo, Tiffany, Paul Castillo, and Michael Pascual. They are the 10 winners, each receiving $20 gift certificates to Foodland. How great could that be?
In our show, Sir Larry, there's so many information that was given out. So for them to follow us or for them to go back to these types of information, they can actually go to filcomcares.org or filcom.org and click on COVID-19 resources. Or you can also simply text us using this number 808-799-3209 for any questions, suggestions that you may have. And of course, the first thing that you should do is follow Sir Larry Ordonez at Facebook. And you will get a lot of information on that page alone. So I think we're done.
Yes, we are.
Too fast,
thank you so very much for all your assistance, Clemen. We had a wonderful program and show today, very informative. And to the team, amazing. I myself found all the information we heard very, very helpful.
Yes, indeed. But I want to speak for the team that I'm working with here, that we are so deeply grateful that you have allowed us to join you in this radiothon, Sir Larry. Marami pong salamat.
And of course, reminding all of our viewers and listeners, if you'd like to see our program in its entirety, it will be posted on our Facebook page. My Facebook page will be will have the program in its entirety. Likewise, Filcom Center. And once again, to all of our volunteers, the Filipino Community Center, its Executive Director, Attorney Danny Juan, and the staff and Board of Directors of the Filcom Center, the Legal Clinic, Ethnic Education Hawaii, University of Hawaii at Manoa, our radio partners, KNDI, Alan Kayubay Lani, to KPHI, Alan Alvarez, KPRP, Miss Emmy Anderson. Our entertainers would like to say thank you to Miss Ana Davide, Mr. Joel Tolentino, Miss Leilani Kulit Rogers, Miss Aina Applefres Financier, and to the Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii Outreach Team. Thank you very much for the public service announcement. We were not able to play the video, but it is posted on my personal Facebook page. Our technical crew, David Florendo and Benji Arista.
Yay.
Big mahalo to
Thank
both of you. And Filcom TLC CARES project team, Dr. Amy Agbayani, Dr. Agnes Malate, Dr. May Rose de la Cruz, Miss Clemen Montero, our co-host in today's program, Dr. Ellen Ray Cachola, Miss Ann Sokol. Thank you so very much. And all the participating organizations who supported the Filcom TLC CARES projects, especially those who joined us today and those who shared and spread the word out about the show today. This show is made possible through CARES Act funding from your host of today's program, Miss Clemen Montero, and your story, Larry Ordonez. Stay safe and let's all continue to protect each other. Thank you very much. And until we have the pleasure of seeing each other by virtual.
Exactly. Yes.
Maraming salamat po, Juste Aguina.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Clemen.
Salamat, Sir Larry. Salamat.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
dito sa Hawaii at sa ang sulok ng mundo. Ipagpatuloy po nating maging ligtas at protektahan ang bawat isa sa pamamagitan ng pagsuot ng mask, paghuhugas ng kamay at panatilihin pa rin natin ang ating distansya sa bawat isa. Ako po si Leilani Joy Kili Rogers, Tubong Batak, Ilocos Norte, na ngayon ay nakatira dito sa Australia. Meli Kalikimaka, everyone. Good day, Mike from Australia, and this song is for you.
Have you ever reached the rainbow's end? And did you find your pot of gold? Oh no. Ever catch a shooting star? And tell me how high did you soar? Ever felt like you were dreaming just to find that you're away, and the magic that surrounds you can lift you up and guide you on your way? I can see the stars across the sky. Dreamt 100,000 dreams before, now I finally realize. You see, I've waited all my life for this moment to arrive, and finally I believe. When you look out in the distance, you see it never was that far. Oh no. Heaven knows your existence and leads you to be everything you are. Oh, there's a time for every sort of light. It's in the eyes of every child. It's the hope, the love that saves